Welcome to our first episode of On the Rocks. It's official. This is actually, I have to confess, round 2 of episode 1. Take 2.
We're never gonna say no to an extra whiskey. Of course.
So, our first whiskey, can you introduce our first whiskey?
It is the Glenmorangie, the original.
10-year-old, huh?
Yeah, it's the 10-year-old. It's the staple Glenmorangie. There's a lot of a spiel here at the back about where the creators of the whiskey come from and how it's made. We won't go into the specifics of that. But the actual bottle itself, I'm sure most of you should know what it looks like. It's quite a popular whiskey. And this one is new.
Brand spanking new.
Nice.
That's what we're here for, new bottles.
Yeah. That's the ultimate intent.
Popping bottles. Yeah. It's not about champagne only, you know. Maybe you can do he does the remote control with this rock.
Remote control, what's that now?
It's that dance, man.
I don't even know.
Okay, never mind. Let's get back to the Glenmorangie.
Okay, Glenmorangie. So, Namsa, you can read the tasting notes at the back there.
So, this is, I think, out of the whiskeys as a beginner that I enjoy, that I've tried and that I've enjoyed. So, they have some tasting notes at the back. The Glenmorangie original balances honeyed sweetness with notes of citrus, almonds, and creamy vanilla for a rounded complexity and an enticing smoothness. So, yeah. You do the honors of opening it. So while he opens it, what we're going to do is we're going to put some of the flavors that we're supposed to pick up in front of us to see if it helps enhance the taste of things. So
or even just to see if we can smell those things.
Yes.
Within the
so generally, whiskey they describe it as spicy. So there's usually some kind of spice in there. We've got cinnamon, we've got honey, because a lot of them are sweetened. We've got citrus and grapefruit. And then we've got some vanilla essence, because a lot of them also have scents or some kind of vanilla infused. I guess maybe it's from the
barrel.
The barrels. So we're gonna try our first shot of whiskey neat to see if we can actually taste some of what we taste actually, not.
Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to swirl it to bring out the aromas.
Okay.
Because that's what they teach you in whiskey tasting. You knows the whiskey.
Up on my legs.
And look at the legs. Yeah.
What do the legs mean? Do you actually know what they mean?
Yeah. So if they're far apart, it's a good whiskey. If they're closer together, then it's...
Isn't it the other way around?
I forgot. No.
Oh, if they're closer together,
then it's not such a good whiskey. So this one, I can't even see the legs actually.
Yeah.
They're sort of medium.
The medium, huh?
Yeah.
In between. Not too far, not too close.
Okay.
So the legs are the drippings of the whiskey from the side of the glass. Okay, it's not bad.
Okay, cool. So.
Are we tasting it or?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's taste it.
You didn't smell it, eh? You're supposed to smell and then identify those flavors. It's not tasty. It's fine.
It's not harsh. That's what I like about it. You know, like.
It goes down well. Doesn't really have a major kick.
Yeah, it's got a medium kick.
I do get some spiciness. I don't know if that's maybe the alcohol or what they're saying, but there is something that hits the back of my throat. Spicy.
What did it say? It said there's vanilla and citrus, no?
Yeah.
I do get some of the citrus.
The citrus, I think, is what you're feeling. You know, like from the peel.
Yes.
You know, when you get like orange citrus
I think that's
peel.
the
I think
spice.
that's the kick
Yeah.
that you're.
The thing that I'm construing as a spice.
Yeah. I think that's what you're getting.
That's what I'm getting as well.
I think you do get the first thing that I get is sweetness.
I didn't get it off the bat, but it does come as I swallow it in my mouth.
I think it hits the front of your tongue, the sweetness.
The front.
And then the back is definitely
Yeah.
like the citrus. The citrus is quite strong. It's not spicy. They said almonds. I can't taste almonds.
Cannot taste it.
I think the almonds is like this aftertaste that comes. It's like, you know that, I don't know how to
Oh,
describe
I
it.
get. It's almost like this bitterness.
Yes, that.
From that nutty bitterness.
Yes.
you get
Like from
almonds.
the skin.
Yeah,
you
probably
think.
from the skin.
You get that almond taste, but there's this thing that hits your tongue on the sides.
I also get it, actually.
But they also mention here honeyed sweetness. I don't
That's
know.
the sweetness.
There's a sweetness there.
Yeah, but it's not honeyed. To me, it's not honeyed.
One thing I don't get is the vanilla.
There's no vanilla. Did they say vanilla?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, creamy vanilla.
Creamy vanilla.
I don't get it.
I think.
Is it the honey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have that.
That is, for me, because citrus is such a strong
Yeah.
taste, it's overpowered. For me, if there's any
The honey is
vanilla,
overpowered.
no, the vanilla
Vanilla,
by the
okay.
citrus,
Oh, okay.
because you can even smell the citrus.
Can you pass it?
Ah, no.
You can. Okay, put that down.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
You can.
Smell the citrus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so true. True. Yeah.
It's like the rind.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting. So, what do you know about Glenmorangie?
I think it's a Highland whiskey, if I remember correctly.
So if you didn't know, maybe we should educate the users on this part. Not the users, but the viewers you see working in IT.
It's okay.
About the whiskey producing regions of Scotland and where this one fits in. So there's 4 main whiskey producing regions.
Which I don't know, by the way.
Yeah.
So,
There's 4 main whiskey producing regions in Scotland. There's Highland, which is where Glenmorangie comes from. There is Speyside, which is where you find like Glenlivet, Glenfiddich, and there's also Lowland. What's a typical Lowland whiskey?
wasn't Auchentoshan?
Auchentoshan, yeah. Auchentoshan is a
Which it's gonna be our next whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Isla, which is where you get the acquired taste of the Isla malts, which are very smoky, peaty, pungent, packs up
Can't you
quite a
put that
punch.
there? Say in YouTube.
The rotten tang. Rotten tang.
But yeah, it's a good Highland single malt.
Yeah.
And single malt, for those who don't know, it's a whiskey that's been matured in one barrel only.
No, they only use one. I can't remember actually. It's one ingredient, one type of malt that they use.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a blend.
It's not a blend, so you can get different types of malts.
Yeah.
This single malt only use one type
Okay.
of malt.
All right.
I think it's from the same farm or something like that. We stand corrected.
But what does the box say? They give you they tell you how many.
The same
Usually they'll
distillery.
tell you how many barrels and stuff like that. What they?
So yeah,
So you see, they say costs
they only use
used only twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then they throw away the cask.
I would assume so. Or they probably sell it to some maybe the cheaper whiskey makers.
Yeah. Okay.
Which means you can get a really decent bottle of cheap whiskey.
Speaking of price, how much does this one retail for?
I think from depending where you go, between like 450 to 500, 499.
Okay.
It's not bad
So,
for whiskey.
It's okay. It's a 10-year-old single malt. But my gripe with this one, even though it's a good whiskey, is that it costs probably in the same region as a 12-year-old.
yeah.
single malt like Glenfiddich.
That's true.
But it's comparable in taste, though. Even though
Yeah, I
it's
suppose
similar.
so. Yeah, I suppose so. It's just a smaller Nyana grape.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is because well, I don't know in other parts of the world or whatever, wherever you're watching this from. In South Africa, a lot of people like to mix their drinks with a lot of different things. But what we're going to do first is we've tried the whiskey neat. We're then going to try the whiskey with some ice on the rocks, as our name says.
On a rock.
Yes. So thereafter, we'll try it with some soda water, and then we'll try it with like ginger ale or any other kind of mixer. Maybe even some cordial. I don't mind whiskey and cordial actually.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
Adding ice is supposed to bring out some of the flavor or enhance it. So let's see.
Chill.
So immediately for me, as I was taking a swig, the nose actually is a bit more intense with the ice in there.
It's changed the dynamic.
I find it, we'll get into other whiskeys when we get into them, but like I think this one gets watered down quite quickly.
Yeah, it does. With the ice, for me, it smooths it out.
It doesn't have that much of a punch in the back of your throat.
And the flavors are more balanced on the palate, I think.
Why do people drink whiskey neat?
It's the best way to have whiskey. You have to have it in its native form. In actual fact, you must have whiskey in its cask strength.
Yeah.
Because they water it down when it comes from the cask into the bottle. So
No, they don't water it down. I think during the maturation process, doesn't the alcohol deplete at some point?
So at some point from between the cask and the bottle, the alcohol content decreases.
Because cask strength whiskey is about, 56%. And then they have to get it down to 43% for regulatory reasons. But thina sifuna njalo.
Ooh, never. Who's a face one way?
Yeah, I think the ice does bring out the flavor a bit. But more than anything, I just think it just adds to
Balance.
soften that blow.
Yeah. So I think for me, what's really prominent about Glenmorangie is the citrus taste in
You're
it.
absolutely right. Yeah.
And I
That's
think
why they call it Glenmorangie.
okay, whatever. I don't think they'd appreciate
But it's nice. Yeah, it's nice.
I mean, I think as the series goes, we will taste other varieties of Glenmorangie, and other varieties of whiskey, but I think this is the entry level. It's the standard. I think if you have people who drink whiskey and you have this, I don't think they'd complain too much. I think they'd be happy to drink it.
It's a good one to have around the house.
Yeah.
Sip on every now and
Don't
then.
get, what is it? First watch. I'm joking.
Oh, we're gonna have first one.
Yes! We said we'll do an affordable whiskey.
Yeah, that's less than affordable.
Yeah, no, it's a bit too affordable. Actually.
But anyway,
Watch
we mustn't discriminate.
and
Harrier.
Harrier looks dangerous.
It is dangerous.
And then there's one. No, I saw Scottish leader.
Scottish leader is not bad.
It's okay. It's
not
okay.
bad.
Yeah.
And famous grouse.
3 sheeps.
It's a South African whiskey, so we have to.
It's nice.
Baines.
Yeah, we'll try that out.
We have to do South African since I thought Bells was South African. You know, on the post, other people also thought that Bells was South African.
not the
I was not the only one.
Just give that man a bell.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
So
let's
what's
try it
next?
with,
The soda.
And then lastly we'll try it
With the thing. Because I think once you have like a flavored,
then
it's gone. You can't come back.
He was pouring big ones last time.
Yeah, that's enough. Okay.
Okay. I don't mind it with the soda water. It's like drinkable. It's like a summer drink.
Yeah. It's
Actually,
refreshing.
the soda carries the flavor. And it, much like the ice, it actually sort of tones down that kick. But I'm getting less of the sweetness.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you still get the citrus.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten vanilla or almonds. Dololo, no almonds.
I've only got it when it would.
No, whatever. The only thing I've gotten me is honey, and maybe over time my palate, it's about
No,
refined.
but yeah, you're right. Actually, once you water it down, you only get maybe 2 of the flavors.
Yeah. But it's refreshing though.
It's refreshing, right? You can drink it. It's a summer drink.
Yeah.
Um,
If you're at a party, you want to take it easy, don't drink whiskey neat. Have it with some soda. It's pretty cool.
yeah. How much would you rate this so far? Like out of 10?
6.5, 7, 7. A solid 7.
It's solid. It's a steady whiskey that you can have around the house. Good tasting, not too strong, good flavors.
So it's a day-to-day
Yeah.
whiskey.
Yeah.
It's like a Toyota Corolla of whiskeys. It's reliable.
Yeah, but
Or maybe a 3 Series. Let's say a 3 Series.
a 3 series, not a
Now the part that I dislike the most, but I suppose we have to do it. Dashing whiskey.
I think
Sacrilegious as it is.
Sacrilege.
dashing whiskey with some ginger ale is not so bad. Oops, sorry.
I suppose it depends on the whiskey.
It depends on the whiskey. I don't think it's that bad. I think ginger ale in general pairs very well with whiskey.
Yeah.
The cask taste. I could have this with lime cordial, but
Okay.
Cool.
But yeah, with ginger ale, I like this particular brand of ginger ale because it's sugar free.
And it went to private school, right?
Went to private school, twang a little bit, but it's not this. The taste of it is not as strong as like ginger beer.
So immediately on the nose, it's like
It's ginger.
it's just ginger. You don't taste, you smell any of the whiskey.
It sweetens it.
Is this sugar free?
Yes.
No.
It is. But
It's
I think.
sugar-free.
Oh, but they use artificial sweetener, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because it's sweet.
Yeah, they probably do.
Yeah.
But I think. I don't know if it's maybe the xylitol in it.
Yeah, it's the xylitol.
But creamy vanilla, yes, maybe.
It brings out the vanilla taste. You can start to get some of those things. And
I
the
am
thing
getting
ab-
creamy vanilla.
and the thing about it is that I think it's not as strong as like Schweppes.
Yeah.
Like it's a
pretty
lot
mild.
more watered down.
That's true.
You smell the ginger, but it doesn't kick. You still taste the whiskey.
Yeah.
So the lesson that we're learning is depending on what you're adding to your whiskey, it actually enhances
The flavor.
a particular flavor.
A note, one of the notes.
One of the
Yeah.
notes. I suppose it appeals to every drinker then. So if you're a seasoned whiskey drinker, you'll have it neat.
Yeah.
But If you're like a beginner or you occasionally drink whiskey, you can have it with soda. And if you like sweet things, you can have it with
The ginger ale.
ginger. And then
I'd always suggest like sugar-free
yeah.
when you mix. If you want to get a taste of what it is you're drinking, I think you get it more when it's sugar-free. Because as soon as you put sugar drinks in, all you taste is like the pronounced like sugar, whether it's like lime or whatever. So the pronounced flavor, not the sugar. So I think sugar-free is the best option. But for me, Glenmorangie as a beginner is a standard. I really like it. It would be my drink of choice, even if I'm out. I'd go for the Glenmorangie.
No, definitely.
It's a good all-rounder, I think.
It is, yeah. Good all-rounder. Everyone can have it.
Yeah.
Appeals to all palates, as we've demonstrated. Prices
It's okay. It's
reasonable.
relative.
Yeah,
reasonable.
fairly reasonable.
Well, champagne. You have like three
Three
glasses for the same price as
Exactly.
that. And
There's a certain champagne at Woolies
please.
that costs 400 rand.
Champagne
Not
costs
worth
400 rands. Which one is that one? Huh? 400 bucks!
Give me my Glenmorangie.
Yeah. And it's produced here in South Africa.
We love South African
In fact,
brands.
it's an MCC. Yeah.
We support South African brands.
Not that one, Shem.
Do they sell it
I
with?
support
Do they sell it with the lingerie?
No! You know, yes, this is fucking king.
No, disclaimer, this is a whiskey tasting vlog. We're not gonna shame other
The
people
views
who are-
of this blog are.
Their views are their views. So let me confide in me now.
Okay, that's a zip it. Anyway, back to the whiskey.
In summary, Glenmorangie, fantastic whiskey, I think.
Yeah.
Appeals to all palates. Good all-rounder, 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Same here.
For me, it's an 8. I hope to. Obviously, I'll get to know more. Maybe when I revisit it again, my palate would have changed, or I would have had a different opinion. But it's an 8 out of 10. It's really solid. It's not going to burn your throat. It's not going to be overwhelming. And you can try it in whatever way works for you, I guess. But Glenmorangie is a really solid, good whiskey, good to the system as well. No like severe hangovers.
Yeah, I completely agree. Not an 8 though. I think 7, because I know there's better whiskeys out there. But this is a real solid whiskey to have. Have it around the house. Have a dope every now and then. In either way that you like it. So I like this one. And if you're first time whiskey drinker that wants to get into premium whiskeys, this is a good place to start.
Yeah, this is entry level premium, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you have a taste for the finer things in life,
Yeah.
this is where you start. You don't need to go to a Bell's, girl. No Bell's shame. We're gonna be drinking Bell's coming for you.
No. Bell's is actually a pretty good whiskey. The special reserve is nice.
Yeah, I saw the special reserve,
Yeah,
but
it is.
yeah.
But it's not South African.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for being with us. We're gonna finish off our drinks. We hope to catch you in our next vlog. Just so that you know, we'll be inviting our friends, family, professionals, or like connoisseurs. That's what they call the whiskey connoisseurs. So stay tuned. It's going to be a really great journey, and we look forward to bringing whiskey and bring it alive.
Yeah.